Hey, it's Sierra, and I'm back with another Pick a Card reading. This is going to be a reading regarding which ancestors and spirit guides are with you at this time and what messages they have for you. Now, this is a group reading or a general reading, so it's not going to be very descriptive or too detailed as far as who your actual spirit guides are or ancestors are, but it is going to help to give you some clues as far as who they could be. And I did this for myself a couple of months ago because I don't really know too much about my family. I don't really know too much about my ancestors. I don't have names. I didn't really grow up around my maternal or paternal family members. It was pretty much just me, my mom, and my sisters. So when I started my spiritual journey, I really didn't know who to put on my ancestor altar. So I decided to do a reading on myself to see who my spirit guides and ancestors are, because every time I would go get a reading from somebody else, they would tell me, wow, your ancestors and spirit guides are here. Like, I have like 3 people or 4 people right here, and they are bombarding me with messages right now. So I wanted to know who it is that's actually helping me. I would like to be able to put them on my altar. So I did a reading, and this is the reading. Hopefully you can see it. These are the cards that I got. So I got rebel, slave, victim, martyr, warrior, poet, networker, servant, privileged lady, toil and labor, short journey, Aquarius, and a few other cards. I'm not going to go over all of them, but I decided to take a picture of the reading and print it out and put it on my altar to represent my ancestors. I have a crystal tree on there as well to represent family tree, but I put this on my altar to represent my ancestors since I don't clearly know who a lot of them are. Now, since then, I have figured out who some of them are. So for example, for a warrior, I do have a spirit guide by the name of Athena. Athena is a Greek goddess. She was the goddess of war. So now that I know that, it definitely makes sense that I got this warrior card. And then because I am African American or black, of course, I'm sure there were slaves in my bloodline, so we have that. So since then, like I've said, I figured out who some of these people are, but I don't want to bore you with all of that information. I just wanted to show you the inspiration behind me actually doing this reading. So now let's go ahead and get to the card selections. We have pile number 1, which is going to be the lobster. Pile number 2, which is going to be the fire. Pile number 3, which is going to be the bird. Pile number 4, which is going to be the chain. And pile number 5, which is going to be the ram, excuse me. So let me zoom in. Alright, so if you want to know some characteristics of who your current spirit guides and ancestors are that are with you at this time, or what messages they have for you, please feel free to pick a pile so we can get to your reading. Again, pile number 1 is the lobster, pile number 2 is the fire, pile number 3 is the bird, pile number 4 is the chain, and pile number 5 is the ram. So you do want to make sure you're using your intuition when you're choosing these piles. The more you watch these type of videos, the quicker you're going to be at selecting your piles. But if you need to take some time to think about it, just pause the video so you can take some time to think about which pile is calling to you. You can ask your spirit guides, ancestors, angels to help you with selecting the pile that contains the messages that you need to receive at this time. So when you watch this video, at the time of you watching this video, this is going to be what your ancestors and spirit guides are trying to tell you at this time. Alright, so please feel free to click on the corresponding timestamp once you pick your pile, and I will see you at your reading. Bye! Hi, group number 1. You all chose the lobster, and this is regarding who your spirit guides and ancestors are, and we are specifically talking about the ones that are around you At the time of you watching this video, we have some spirit guides that stick with us throughout several lifetimes and throughout our whole lives, and then we have some that come and go. As far as ancestors, same thing. It may not necessarily be the same ones that are around us and helping us all the time. So if you're somebody like me who doesn't clearly know who all of your ancestors are, this can help you to kind of figure out which ones are around you, which ones are helping you at this time, and what messages they have for you. So again, you all chose the lobster. And when I think about a lobster, I do think about protection, and that is because they have a protective shell around them. They have a hard shell around them in order to protect themselves. So I also think about intuition when I think about the lobster, just because, you know, there is a lobster in the moon card, I believe. So subconscious, intuition, and protection. So your spirit guides that are currently around you, ancestors and spirit guides, they are definitely there to protect you. We have the comet unexpected, so they are there to try to warn you and protect you against things that are happening that you aren't expecting, things that are coming your way that can be quite destructive that you aren't expecting. So you definitely want to be open to hearing the messages, seeing the signs that they're trying to give you, because they do try to keep you out of harm's way. Now with the poet and the Gemini, if there is someone in your family that was known for their poetry, it's possible that this person could be one of your ancestors that is guiding you at this time. Or if there's a particular deity that you know of that was good with poetry, that deity could be guiding you at this time. As far as the Gemini, your ancestor could have been a Gemini in this lifetime. We all have several lifetimes. So they could have been a Gemini in this lifetime. So you may want to check in to see which ancestors were into poetry, which ancestors were Geminis, or you might have Gemini somewhere in your chart. Now, we also have the late Middle Ages, 1250 through 1400. So it's possible that one of the spirit guides that's with you right now has been around you since the late Middle Ages. I know that I have some spirit guides that have been with me for several lifetimes. So one of these spirit guides could have been with you in the late Middle Ages. So if you are interested in getting like a past life reading, or you just want to get a personal reading that looks further into who your actual spirit guides are, then you might want to ask them if you have a spirit guide from the late Middle Ages. Now, this is a group reading. This is not an individual reading, so this is going to be kind of vague. It's not going to be specific, extremely specific, just because there are several people that will be tuning into this video. So these are going to be clues for you to go off of. Now, it's possible that one of your spirit guides was a martyr in their lifetime, or in this lifetime. So they could have been somebody who stood up for their causes no matter what. They were willing to sacrifice themselves for a specific cause or for the greater good. So it could have been like a civil rights leader. It could have been one of the key players in a certain empire, like Roman, Greek, Egyptian. It could have been even someone who was a martyr for Christianity. I know that some of us are, leaving Christianity. We aren't Christians anymore. It could have been somebody who was a martyr for witchcraft. They had people that they actually executed because they were accused of being witches and practicing witchcraft. So whoever your spirit guides and ancestors are, they were definitely someone that was willing to stand up for their cause And they are here to help you to be able to do the same thing. They're here to help you to be able to stand up for yourself. But they do want to make sure that you have a healthy balance. So we also have the victim card, as well as karmic lesson and abandonment. Okay, so they want you to understand why certain things may be happening in your life. You might feel like you're a victim right now. You might feel like things are always going wrong. Things are always happening to you. Bad things are always coming your way. With this comic card, unexpected things are always coming your way. We have the scissors, disappointment in some affair. So things are always happening that you don't look at in a positive light. So what they want you to know with this karmic lesson card is that there is a karmic lesson or a karmic cycle that is tied to the things that you are going through right now. So if you find that you always attract the wrong type of people in your life, your relationships always end for similar reasons, things are never going well for you at work, no matter what type of job you get, you can never keep money. Money seems to have burn a hole in your pocket. Things are always coming up where you're having to spend your money unexpectedly. You may feel like people are always abandoning you. People are never there for you. They are wanting you to know that whatever's going on in your life, these repetitive cycles, these negative repetitive cycles, they are connected to a karmic lesson. So they want you to see what the lesson is. You're going to have to take some time to sit down, think about all of the negative things that seem to repeatedly happen. One of the most known karmic lessons that we hear about are karmic relationships, where you seem to constantly attract people that, let's go with abandonment, because we have abandonment here. So let's say you're constantly attracting partners that always make you feel like you're abandoned. It seems like you're putting more into the relationship than they are. They like to ghost you a lot. They go weeks without talking to you or days without talking to you. It seems like you're chasing them. When you're in need of something, they are not there to help you, but it seems like you're always there from them. So you find it hard to get out of the relationship because you're codependent, but you finally figure out how to leave the person, how to get out of the situation, and then you attract another relationship and the same exact things happen. And then you attract another relationship and the same exact thing happens. That is a karmic cycle. So what you need to figure out is why you keep attracting the same type of scenario. Does not have to be a relationship. Like I said, it could be business, it could be money, whatever. Why are you attracting the same type of scenario and getting the same outcome over and over again? It's time to do some deep shadow work. It's time to go into your subconscious. It might be time to look into your past lives. What is this cycle that is happening, and how do you cut that cycle off with the scissors? Because in order to achieve happiness, we have happiness with the flowers. You're going to have to figure out what this karmic cycle is, how to cut that cycle off so that you can be happy in your life. Alright, so we also have the God card here, which is very, very interesting. So you have a connection to the Most High. We may not all refer to it. I don't want to say a gender. We may not all refer to the Creator as God. Sometimes people say the Creator. Sometimes people say the universe. Sometimes people say the Most High. And there's probably people who don't even believe there's a Creator. But, how did we get here? So they want you to understand that we have God. We all have God inside of us. I'm using the word God because God is what's on the card. So we have access to activate that within ourselves to take more control over our lives, so we are not feeling like the victim. And just because you have seen a pattern of people martyring themselves in the past, that could include your ancestors, that could include your spirit guides. That doesn't mean that that is something that you have to do. You don't have to sacrifice yourself. I think that is what your spirit guides are definitely wanting you to know right now, because we do follow patterns. So, let's say, for example, the civil rights movement. A lot of our civil rights leaders ended up being assassinated. They ended up being like a martyr. Maybe it's them letting us know, like, we don't have to sacrifice ourselves in order to get what we want. What we need to do is tap into that God energy that we all have, and that is how we can attract what we want. So we don't have to necessarily follow in the exact same footsteps as our ancestors or our spirit guides. It's time for us to learn from what didn't work for them and go back even further in time to see when civilizations were actually thriving, what were they doing that was working for them. And a lot of the time, once we go back and we look at the history, we will see that what they were doing that worked for them when all of these civilizations were thriving and you had kingdoms isn't what we're taught to do today. So it's time to get back to the most basic of the basics. And you're going to have to go past our current generation and past the generation before that and past the generation before that. It's time to go back and study ancient civilizations. All right. So that is pretty much what I have for you all. I hope this was helpful in some way, shape, or form. So your spirit guides definitely want you to know they are there to protect you, but they want you to tap into that God energy that you have. We all have that. And figure out what these karmic cycles that are constantly repeating are. In order to cut them off and break them, you have to figure out what they are. You have to recognize that there is an actual cycle that's going on. Then you can take some time to do something about it. Alright, so thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Please let me know in the comment section if it resonated. Also, please like this video and subscribe. And I do want to thank everyone that has subscribed over the past couple of weeks since I started doing these pick a card readings. I definitely do appreciate it, and everyone that has taken the time to leave comments on my videos. It definitely helps. So again, I hope you all have a good rest of your day. Thanks. Bye. Hi, group number 2. You all chose the fire. And when I think about fire, besides destruction, I think about purification. A lot of the times fire and smoke is used for purification, but it can also be used for destruction as well. And of course, when we think of something that's fiery, we also think of passion as well. Alright, so this reading is going to be about what your spirit guides and ancestors have for you, what messages they have for you, what they want you to know, and who they could possibly be. So just kind of to give us a clue about which spirit guides or ancestors are currently with us at this time. And that's just because we don't always have the same ones with us in every single lifetime. Some of them travel from lifetime to lifetime with us, and some of them are with us for a certain period of time throughout our current lifetime, and then they may not be with us for the entire lifetime, especially when it comes to ancestors, because a lot of the times we don't even fully know who they all are. And then once we start becoming more and more spiritual and getting more into our spiritual practices and understanding the need to actually venerate or honor our ancestors, we attract more of them. All right. So what I'm getting is that one of your spirit guides that's with you right now is most likely a man. And the reason why I'm saying that is because we have the benevolent man card, and that card also represents the King of Cups. So the spirit guides that's with you right now is a man that was very compassionate in his lifetime, very balanced when it comes to his emotions and very empathetic. Alright, and we also have the hero card here as well. So this could have been a father in either this lifetime or a past lifetime, or it could be one of the heroes that we hear about in Greek mythology, Roman mythology, Egyptian, anything like that. Something I did not realize is that some of our spirit guides are actually from those different stories we heard growing up as children, because I recently found out one of my spirit guides is Athena, which is a Greek goddess, and I never would have guessed that. I'm actually considered black, if you want to label yourself something, so I always have felt like I would have like an African or Egyptian spirit guide, but I was shocked when Athena actually made herself known at one of my readings. So don't just stop at your culture in this lifetime, or your ancestors. You could have spirit guides that are from other lifetimes. So I have been getting images of owls for a while, not really realizing what it was, and owl is one of the things that represents Athena. So pay attention to the different animals that are being brought to your mind, the different symbols. They could represent one of your spirit guides. So again, I'm definitely showing for some of you this is going to be like a father figure that is helping you in the astral realm, and for some of you it's going to be a past lover that is helping you in the astral realm. We do have the lover card here. All right, now as far as the message that they want you to get or understand from them, there seems to be a need for emotions to be explored, in particularly emotions that may have been caused by something negative happening to you, possibly as a child. We do have the wounded child card here. So there could have been some things that may have happened to you as a child. We do have the Virgin card here, we have the Damsel card here, and we have the Trickster card here. So there's possibly, well, for one, let me point out with the Trickster card, you want to make sure when you are communicating with your spirit guides, you're being clear about who you are wanting to communicate with. You don't want to get trickster spirits or spirits that are pretending to be your ancestors or your spirit guides, and they really are malicious. So you want to make sure you're being clear that you are wanting to communicate with the spirit guides and ancestors that have your greatest and highest good at heart. Even some of your ancestors may not have your greatest and highest good at heart. So with the Trickster card here, that's reminding me, just make sure you are being clear about what spirits you're inviting, and make sure you're asking for the discernment so you can tell the difference between the trickster spirits and the ones that are truly there to help you. Now on the other hand, you all may be dealing with a situation where you may have been manipulated by someone, possibly as a child or early on in life, maybe like late teens or something like that. So I'm trying to be careful with my words, because people say YouTube is weird about what you say. I'm new to YouTube, so I don't really know, but there could have been possibly some sexual assault that occurred as a child, or molestation, or even possibly sexual assault as an adult. I don't know why, that's what I'm getting from this situation or from these cards here. So if that is something that happened to you in your life, first of all, I do apologize. No one should have to go through that. And just to let you all know a little bit about myself, I've gone through that as well, but as an adult, not as a child. So you definitely are going to want to address any emotions that you're feeling when it comes to that situation. For some of you, it's not that at all, okay? So remember, this is a general reading. There's going to be several people watching this, and not everything is going to apply. So for one group of you, that is it. For another group, we are talking about not being able to be your true self. Okay, we have the Lilith card here, which represents repressed desires. It's kind of like taboo. It's kind of like things that people might look down on you for, behaviors that people might look down on you for, sexual preference that people might look down on you for. So for some of you, it's just not being able to be your true self and express yourself the way that you want to. And you are definitely going to want to figure out why you feel that way. And release that so that way you can be your true self. With this prison card, it's like you're a prison in your own body, you're a prison in your own mind. You don't feel like you can truly be who you are and express yourself. So you're not really living, you are existing right now. So your spirit guides want you to know that it's time to start living. It's time to start being who you truly are and not being so worried about what other people may think. With the Virgin card here, for a certain period of time, women were looked down upon if they weren't virgins. Women, it was hard to try to get married if you weren't a virgin. So that's just kind of just a symbol to represent not necessarily going down the path that people feel like you need to go down and being looked down upon for it, or being afraid that you're going to be looked down for it. Unfortunately for us, we are living in a time where it is easier to live out loud and openly and do things that were looked down upon in the past. And now it's still, there are a lot of things that are looked down upon, but it's easier to live in your truth. There's more support out there for us to be able to live in your truth. So why are you still living in your head? It's time to get out and be who you truly are and do what you truly want to do. So we have the Moon card that represents emotions, that represents the subconscious, that represents intuition, that represents being in touch with your divine feminine, with this damsel card here. So whenever we think about damsel, we think about a woman. Let's go with the classic scenario where the tire is flat. A woman's tire goes flat and she's waiting on the side of the road by her car, and then there's, supposed to be men that are supposed to stop by and help because she's pretty dainty. She can't change her own tire, so it's kind of like all the men know that it's their duty. They need to stop and help her out. A damsel in distress. So sometimes that can be looked upon negatively, but that represents the ultimate femininity, just being able to make somebody do something just because you're a feminine woman. Now, when we're talking about divine feminine and masculine, we are not talking about gender. We're talking about just having a balance between those qualities within ourselves. We all have masculine and feminine energy. I wonder if we all have estrogen and testosterone, the male and female hormones. I need to look that up because that would be interesting. But we all have divine feminine and masculine energy. So there is a need here for you to build upon your divine feminine here. You might be lacking in that. You might not have a balance with that. So that's what the damsel card is here for. And that's pretty much what I'm getting from this pile. So for some of you, there's some things that have happened to you in your life that you are needing to release. There's some shadow work that needs to be done in order for you to release those negative emotions and feelings. If you need help with shadow work, let me know in the comments below. I will be happy to do a video on that. I wish I had my shadow work journal prompt cards out. I would definitely pull one for you, but I don't have them out. I can't get to them right now, but I can do that in a different video if you want me to. And then for some of you, it's not necessarily that something happened to you in your lifetime like a tragic event, but it's just not being able to be your true self, not feeling like you're able to live how you want to live for fear of how society, family members, or friends are going to react to you. And as far as the spirit guide, what I'm getting is most likely a man, and I am talking about gender when I say it's most likely a man that's helping you right now at the time of you watching this video. And of course, watch out for trickster spirits. Be very clear about who you're inviting into your space when you are reaching out to those that are in the spiritual realm. Alright, so hopefully that resonated. If it did, please feel free to let me know in the comment section below. Also, please like and share this video. I really do appreciate everyone who takes the time to leave comments and like the video. It definitely helps me to know what kind of content to keep creating. So I hope you all have a good rest of your day. Bye. Hello, group number 3. You all chose the bird. So, of course, you can see this bird has like a piece of paper or a scroll in their beak, so they're definitely coming to give you a message. We all know that birds can see from a higher perspective, so your spirit guides are there to give you information that you may not be able to receive on your own, just because they're able to see things from a higher perspective. They have access to the astral realm. So again, this reading is about who your spirit guides are, basically just a clue into who they could be. This is a general reading, so I'm not going to be able to tell you exactly who your spirit guides are. You would need to get a personal reading for that, but this is a reading to kind of give you a clue as to which spirit guides and ancestors could be around you at the time of you watching this video, and also what messages they have for you. Now, also with the bird card, for example, you definitely want to pay attention to any animals that you are seeing a lot, because that can be a clue as to who your spirit guides are. So for me, for example, I had always seen owls a lot. I've had owls in my dreams. Didn't really know what they were until I went to get a reading, and the reader was telling me that one of my spirit guides was announcing themselves and that her name was Athena. And so I'm like, Athena, that's a Greek goddess. So that's interesting. I never would have thought she would be one of my spirit guides. And actually, one of the animals that she's associated with is an owl. So she had been giving me clues as to who she was and that she was around me. I just didn't make the connection. So pay attention to the animals and the signs and the synchronicities that you're seeing, because they could be connected to one of your spirit guides. So one of you or some of you could have spirit guides that are associated with birds in some way, shape, or form, or they could be associated with a messenger. Maybe they were a messenger, an important messenger in their lifetime, or that was something that they did for a living, something like that. If we're talking about ancestors, maybe they were like a mail carrier, or someone who was meant to give messages to other people. I'm also feeling strongly that there is a woman around you, because there's, let's see, 4 cards with women specifically in them. So you all definitely have a woman that's around you. And with the servant card, this is somebody who in their lifetime, they definitely were there to help other people. They didn't mind helping other people. They found joy in helping other people, and they find joy in helping you as well. So don't be afraid to call out to your spirit guides, to ask them for assistance, because that's what they're there for, and they are happy to do so. Just make sure you're calling on the ones that have your greatest and highest good at heart, so that way you don't get any trickster spirits. Okay, so as far as the companion card, your spirit guide could have been someone who was a friend to you in this lifetime. Maybe you've had a friend or somebody that you knew growing up that has passed away. They could be one of your spirit guides. They could be helping you out right now. Also with the King card, we all have spirit guides that go past centuries, past lifetimes. So there's possible that one of your spirit guides could have been a king, you know, way back in the day. Like I said, one of my spirit guides is Athena, who is a Greek goddess. So it could have been someone who was an actual king, or somebody who is just in charge. Somebody who basically everyone listened to, and they had a great deal of authority. We do have the South America card. So if you are in South America and you're watching this, this is confirmation that this is a pile for you, but also your spirit guides or ancestors could have been from South America. So for those of us who don't clearly know who our ancestors are, I'm one of them. I don't know a whole lot about my family. Having little clues to try to figure out who my ancestors are is helping me to know who's around me, who to put on my ancestor altar, who's actually helping me at this time, because not all of our ancestors are helping us. Not all of them are for our greatest and highest good. Some of them step forward at different points. So you could have ancestry in South America, so you may want to look into that. Now, as far as what your ancestors and spirit guides are wanting you to know, with this dilettante card, I don't know how to say that, so hopefully I said that right. I'm talking about this one. Even though I don't know how to say it, I feel like this is basically somebody who is an enthusiast. So we're going to go with that word. We're going to go with enthusiast, which is somebody who may not be an expert. They may not have the PhD in a certain area of study or craft or arts, but they are still very good at what they do. So that is letting me know that you may have certain gifts and talents that you are not necessarily confident in, as far as the ability to make money from those gifts and talents, or the ability to have success in a certain area of the arts, because, or a certain professional a certain profession, let's say that, because you did not get formal training, you did not go to school for it. It's just something, you might be a self-taught type of person. So they definitely want you to know that you can still be very successful, even though you're self-taught, even though you're going off natural talent, even though you aren't certified. Your gifts will make room for you, so don't feel like you can't be successful just because you didn't go the traditional route, or just because you don't have certain credentials behind your name. When it comes to kings, we have the king card here. A lot of kings inherited the thrones. They didn't necessarily do something great unless they conquered or took over a group of people. But kings, when we think about kings, queens, princesses, princes, royal families, things are inherited. So they don't necessarily always work for their positions in life. So don't feel bad about having a natural talent or a natural attraction to something. You can still be very successful because your gift is what's going to be your qualifications. You don't have to have certain qualifications unless you're trying to be like a doctor or something. Like, of course you're going to have to go to school and get a degree for that, but this is mostly when it's concerning things that are like art forms. So if you are interested in psychology, but you don't have the time or the money to go to school for psychology, you might want to look into being a life coach. That is in the kind of the same sort of field, but you don't have to go to school or be certified to do it. You just have to have your natural gift and your natural ability to attract people to you. So that's just an example of that. Now, they also want you to know that you may want to look into your north node if you have access to your birth chart. If you don't, okay, my son just sneezed, so if you heard that, that was him. So if you don't have access to your birth chart, I suggest doing it. There's so many free websites you can go on to get it. There's different apps you can go on to get it, and that way you can look to see what your north node is and your south node is. Your south node represents who you were in the past. things that you already been there, done that. You learned those lessons in the past. Your North Node is what you need to be focused on, working towards in this lifetime. This is what you came here to do in this lifetime. So you may want to look into your North Node on your birth chart. Now, the keyword for North Node in this deck is fate. Okay? So life goals is one of those, going back to, you know, your gifts being able to make room for you. And that's another thing. When it comes to fate, that's something that's going to happen no matter what. So if you are meant to be gifted in a certain area and to affect people in a certain area in life and use those gifts for that, that is what you need to be working towards no matter what, because that's what you're supposed to be doing in this lifetime. So you might not need all the credentials that everyone else might need. We have fate twice because we have it here in the Wheel of Fortune card, which also is fate in the deck that this card came from. So definitely need to look into your North Node to see what sign your North Node is in, and then kind of study what you need to do in order to move towards that in your life. Now we have the Trine Harmony and the Opposition Confrontation card. Those are two opposites, so there's a need for balance here. There is light and dark in everything. There's harmony and there's confrontation in everything. So they definitely want you to know that you need to be a little bit more balanced. They want you to pay attention to signs and synchronicities that they are sending to you. And they want you to see, as far as the conflicts that are going on in your life, they want you to look deeper into those to see why they could be happening. Are the people in your life mirroring you? For the most part, they are. So if you're attracting people with qualities that you don't like, usually that means you have that quality somewhere in yourself. And if you don't clearly see it, it could be somewhere in your subconscious and something that you need to address. In order for you to be fully successful, or as successful as you could be, you're definitely going to want to confront those things. So take a look in the mirror. Take a look at any internal conflicts you may be having within yourself, including your confidence and your ability to be able to perform and to make money, like using your gifts, okay? So then we have the waxing crescent: surrender, restore, reflection, intuition, and stillness. So reflection is sticking out to me because we were just talking about mirroring. So there is a need for you to go within and see what it is that's making you feel like you can't fully operate in your gift and be successful. Because they want you to know that you can. As far as genetic illness, now one of your spirit guides or ancestors, probably ancestors, they could have died from a genetic illness, and thus now they are an ancestor and they're able to help you out. So you may want to look into that, see if you've had any ancestry in South America or any ancestors that died from genetic illnesses. That could be a clue as to which ones are with you at this time. And I also pulled some more cards for you. Let me get them. Alright, so, because I was feeling like money had something to do with this, so I had to pull some more cards. So we have the Dolphin Financial Gain. Usually comes from something you did in the past. Okay, now stuff gets a little bit tricky now, because when we talk about the past, we talk about the past in our current life, and then the past could be your past lives as well. Deep personal strength and peace. Y'all ignore my nails. I never like fully wait for them to dry. So they always get messed up, and hopefully y'all can't hear that siren too loud. And then we have money path. A path with money is waiting for you to find it. and triumph over troubles and obstacles. Let's go back to the money path. A path with money is waiting for you to find it. Okay, so that's telling me that you have the ability to make money. They have a path that's already been mapped out for you before you even incarnated on this earth, but it says it's waiting for you to find it. So if you don't do what it takes in order to get on that path, then you can end up going down the wrong path, and you might find yourself in a situation that wasn't meant for you to be in. I might have to stop this if these sirens get too loud. Let me see. Okay, group number 3, I'm back. I swear, anytime you try to make a video, that's when you realize how noisy the world is. Okay, so I think I was on money path, so I was letting you know there is a path that has been mapped out for you in order for you to be successful financially, and you're supposed to be using your gifts in order to access that path. So what you're going to need to do, if you don't already know what your gifts are, figure out what your gifts are. Figure out how to use them in a way that serves yourself and that serves others. And don't be afraid or insecure about your gifts. We are all given our gifts for a certain reason. So, you know, there could be somebody who studied something for years and they have all the credentials and they still aren't able to attract the people, the success that you might be able to attract, and you might not have any credentials. So make sure that you are figuring out what your gifts are, how you're supposed to be beneficial to the world. Usually something that you wouldn't mind doing for free is where you would actually be able to make your money at. So again, that's because you would have a natural gift and a natural interest, and our gifts makes rooms for us. Okay, that is pretty much it at this time. So just to kind of recap, as far as who your spirit guides are, they could be a woman that was close to you, or a companion or a friendship that you had, a friend that you had that may no longer be here with us on the physical earth. And it could have been an ancestor that was in South America or from South America, and possibly they may have died from a genetic illness. So those are just some clues you can go off of to try to look into if you're interested in knowing which spirit guides are with you at this time. Also, you'll want to take a look at your North Node on your birth charts. If you don't know how to get that, you can get the app CoStar or Time Passages, or you can go on astrologycafe.com. You will need your time of birth, city of birth, date of birth in order to access that information. And also make sure you are balanced, and make sure you are trying to figure out where your gifts are, what your gifts are, because our gifts are what make room for us, they make prosperity for us, and they create abundance for us. So know that you do have abundance waiting on you, but it's up to you to go and find it. All right, so thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Please feel free to leave a comment, like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. I greatly appreciate it, and I want to say thank you to all of those who have been leaving comments and liking my videos. It definitely helps a lot. It helps me to know what kind of content to keep creating. Y'all have a good rest of your day. Bye. Hey, group number 4, you all chose the chain. So of course, when I think about chain, and I'm pretty sure when you all think about chain, you're thinking about something that is keeping you bound, something that is holding you back, restriction, and of course, if you're into tarot, then you would probably be thinking about the Devil card as well. Now, the question is, are you holding yourself back? Is someone else holding you back? Is there something in your subconscious holding you back? And this could also symbolize that your spirit guides are here to help you break any chains that are bounding you, keeping you bound right now. So again, this video is about your spirit guides and ancestors. We're looking for clues as to who your spirit guides and ancestors may be, as far as the ones that are with you right now at the time of watching this video. So since this is a general reading, it's not going to be extremely specific, but just a few little clues. And then it's up to you to take the time to do the research, pay attention to the signs and synchronicities to see how this all fits together. All right, and then we're also going to see if they have a particular message for you at this time. So we have the angel card here. So you all definitely have angels around you. Everyone pretty much has guardian angels, but yours are really close to you, and they are most likely sending you signs and synchronicities. For me, for example, I know when I see 444 on a license plate, the time, or a receipt or something like that, I know that's specifically angels that are talking to me. We all have spirit guides. Some of them are angels, some of them are ancestors, some of them are gods, goddesses, whatever, spirit animals. But for me, when I see 444, I know specifically that's when my guardian angels are reaching out to me just to say hi or to let me know that they have a message for me. Now, as far as child magical, maybe you all had like an imaginary friend when you all were children, and yes, we're taught that they're not real, but I'm getting that could have been one of your spirit guides at the time. So you might not have a clear memory of it, since, you know, as we age and become older, we tend to kind of lose our connection with the spiritual realm sometimes. But if you did have a imaginary friend, that was definitely a spirit guide for you at that time, and they are probably still with you right now. You just might not be able to clearly see them or hear them, because as adults we kind of, like I said, lose our connection to the astral and spiritual realm. As we become more and more spiritual and practice our spirituality more, we start to open ourselves up to being able to see our spirit guides and clearly hear from them and notice what messages are from them. Now we have the mentor card, addict, and shapeshifter. We also have retrograde, betrayal, violence, high middle ages, and 7th house, as well as Jupiter. So I'll go over each of the cards individually. However, I feel like your spirit guides are wanting you to know that there are certain things that you're dealing with in this lifetime that are most likely stemming from a past life. We have the retrograde card, which to me represents reflection, looking within, taking the time just to be still, not taking too much action, not starting too many things. It's the time to like sit back and think about things that have already been happening in your life and to figure out why. So this addict card, now I don't know which reading it was. I did another reading not too long ago. I think it was what you need to hear right now, and one of the piles did talk about addiction. So for some of you, there is some sort of addiction that is plaguing you right now. And in order to figure out why you have it, you may need to go within to see what has been happening to your life that would lead you, what events would lead someone to become addicted to something. It's usually not something good. It's usually something traumatic or bad that happens to us, or it could be something genetic, like alcoholism, I believe, that runs in families, and it could be something that's stemming from a past life. Y'all might get tired of me talking about past lives, but that is something that I'm currently interested in right now, and I'm learning about a lot of my past lives. And what I'm learning is sometimes there's things that we do and there's things that affect us that don't really have anything to do with this lifetime. It's something that came from a prior life that we are still working on resolving in this lifetime. So you may have to look into your prior lives. You may have to look into your bloodline as well. But we have the shapeshifter card here. So your spirit guides are definitely able to reach out to you in many different forms. So pay attention to any animals you might be seeing a lot. Any signs you're seeing a lot. If you're watching TV And it seems like every show you turn on, they're mentioning the same person all the time, like a historical person. That could be somebody that is one of your spirit guides. They also want you to be able to have this ability as well. They want you to be able to shape shift. They want you to be able to navigate through different levels of consciousness, as it says on the card. So they want you to be able to figure out how to get through different types of situations without necessarily using something that you will be addicted to as a coping mechanism. Here we go back to the chain card and the devil card, which is, you know, the tarot card. That represents addictions. That represents codependency. Maybe you're not dependent on a substance. Maybe you're the type of person that's dependent on different people. The fact that you need people to be there for you all the time. You might not feel safe or comfortable being alone. They're wanting you to know that that could have something to do with a past life, or maybe in this lifetime that could have something to do with betrayal. We do have the betrayal card here, and we also have violence. As far as the time period card, we have the High Middle Ages, and that was from 1000 to 1250 AD. So you might want to look and see if you have any past lives in that time frame. Now, we know in the Middle Ages, you know, that was, they had violence. We have violence in, you know, all centuries and time frames. But we always think about knights, and we think about fighting for kingdoms and stuff like that. So maybe something like that is actually what's plaguing you right now. We also have the Jupiter Abundance, 7th house partnerships, and the mentor card. So they're wanting you to know that once you're able to get past this, there is somebody that's going to be able to actually help you. There is some sort of important relationship or partnership that is waiting for you, and that's going to help you to thrive and become more abundant. So pay attention to the different partnerships you have. Ask for the discernment to be able to see which partnerships are good for you, which ones are bad for you. Ask for you to be drawn to those people that are there to help you and to, you know, I don't want to say get rid of, but to release those partnerships that are not good for you. So that way you can make room. If you have too many people taking up the space for the partnership that's meant to actually help you, then that partnership can't happen until you start releasing some of those people, and also some of those negative emotions and negative feelings, and also any negative habits. Okay, a lot of times when we think about addiction, we automatically think about alcohol or drugs. That there can be food addiction, there could be codependency, like addiction to people. There could be an addiction to doing something that we see as good, but too much of a good thing can be bad as well. So take a look at your habits. Are they helping you? Are they hurting you? Are they hindering you? Are they a crutch? Are they keeping you from moving to the next level? So that is pretty much what I have here. I feel like it's great to be able to see that there is some sort of partnership that's going to help you. There's somebody that's going to come in and be a mentor to you and be very helpful to you. Just make sure you're ready and able to receive that when it happens. And it looks like, based on what we have here, there's some shadow work that needs to be done. Now, y'all gonna hear me talk about shadow work, past lives, all of that a lot, because that is what my calling is. That is what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm supposed to be helping people start their spiritual journeys and do their shadow work. So if you're following me, if you're watching my videos, more than likely you are being called to start doing your shadow work. So that's why you're going to hear me mention that a lot, because it's coming up in the readings. I have to say what I'm actually seeing. So I hope that made sense to you all. I hope it resonated. If you have any questions, please feel free to let me know. Please feel free to leave a comment. Please like, share, and subscribe. I really do appreciate it. Ever since I've been doing these pick a card readings, I'm getting more subscribers, so I do appreciate that. And I appreciate those that are engaging, leaving comments, and liking. If you have access to me on any other social media platforms, please feel free to reach out to me if there's something that you do not feel comfortable putting in the comment section. Alright, so thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I hope you all have a good rest of your day. Bye. Hey, group number 5, you all chose the Ram. All right, so when I think about Ram, I believe the zodiac sign Aries is represented by the Ram. I also think about leadership, just being bold, that kind of energy. So this is a video about who your spirit guides are that are with you right now. So which ones are helping you at the time of you watching this video. Since it is a general reading, it's not going to be extremely specific. These are just clues that are going to help you to figure out who your spirit guides could be at this time. Also, if they have any messages for you at this time, we will be discussing those as well. So again, with the Ram, somebody who is a leader, somebody who could have been an Aries in their lifetime. So this could be an ancestor that was an Aries in their lifetime. Somebody that was very bold, somebody that was very energetic, somebody that was very fiery. We have the Sun card here with expression. They did not have a problem expressing themselves. They did not have a problem standing with, by who they are. We have masculinity here as a keyword on the Sun card, which I'm seeing the brother card, I'm seeing the father card also. So the father card is here twice. We have it here and we have it here. So you all may have a significant male figure that was in your life that is with you right now. Could have been a father, could have been a father figure, could have been a mentor, a teacher, or a brother. So that is somebody that's helping you right now. You might want to look into see which father figure, brother, or teacher, or leader this could have been in your current lifetime that is helping you right now. They also probably help you with being able to express yourself, since they clearly didn't have a problem with doing so. So I'm pretty sure that they leave you signs all the time, so that you can know that they are reaching out to you and speaking to you and talking to you. So you want to make sure you're paying attention to those. We have the child nature card, and it says friendships with animals, communication with nature spirits. So they probably communicate with you through nature a lot. So pay attention when you're out in nature to see what's going on. They may just be talking to you. With the storyteller card, again, that's making me think that it's possibly a father figure. As we know, parents would tell us stories at nighttime before bed. Not all of us, but we all know what that represents. That represents the family dynamic. We have the chronic illness card. So this person that is with you and helping you right now could have died of a chronic illness. I'm hoping that you are not dealing with a chronic illness at this time, but I'm feeling like the person who is around you, the ancestor that's around you right now, could have died from some sort of illness. We also have the Prince card, romantic charm and potential for power, and we have the Lovers card. So you all could have a former lover that is helping you right now. It could have been somebody from childhood. It could have been somebody from adulthood. This person has passed to the other side, and they are helping you on the other side. And this could also be somebody from a past life. So you may not clearly be aware of who they are at this time. But I'm definitely getting that this could be somebody that you had some sort of relationship with during this lifetime. We have the 18th century. So I did mention this could have been a lover or a father figure from a past lifetime. So if you are into past lives, you might want to look into the 18th century to see if you have what your spirit guides were, who your spirit guides were in that lifetime, what you were doing in that lifetime, who you were in that lifetime. That might give you some clues as to who your current spirit guides are right now. Some of them do travel from prior lifetimes to help us. Then we have the Pisces card. So of course you could be a Pisces. This ancestor that's with you could have been a Pisces. And also Pisces is one of the intuitive signs of the zodiac. So they definitely want you to work on your intuition so that you're able to recognize the signs that they're giving you. You're able to discern what messages are from them and what's just a coincidence. Sometimes if you see certain numbers or certain animals, it is actually a message from them, and sometimes it's just you know, has nothing to do with them trying to communicate with you. But you need to strengthen your intuition so that you can understand when they're speaking to you, when they're not. Also, Pisces can be represented by the fish. So if you're seeing fish a lot, dreaming of fish a lot, that could be them trying to communicate with you. Let me see. As far as their message to you, let me see. Do they have any messages for you? Please give me a message for those that are meant to choose pile number 5 from their spirit guides. What do their spirit guides want them to know? Okay, so they have, I don't know if you've seen that card fall out, but they want you to know a meeting with a stranger could be important. So you may have somebody that's being sent your way to help you in this lifetime, or to deliver a message from them. And then we also got the Sun card, happiness and well-being. So we have the Sun here twice. They're definitely here to help you to make sure that you are happy. They want you to take care of yourself so that you can experience happiness, and they are going to be sending someone to you that's going to make you happy, that's going to help to contribute to your happiness, because ultimately nobody can make you happy, but they can help to contribute to it or take away from it. We also have the Wheel, indecisiveness, allowing your life to ramble aimlessly. So they want you to start getting clear about what you want to do in life and what you want to get out of life. And then once you do that, then you can make a clear plan, and they can help you with a plan to getting what you want to get out of life. Let me see if there's anything else. Because your pile is the only pile where I really didn't get a lot of messages from them. It was more so about who they are. So I didn't want to leave you all without any messages from them. Any more messages from pile 5 spirit guides? And we have Candle, you will be shown the way. Okay, so again, that goes back to making sure that you are using your intuition, spending time in nature, getting a lot of sunlight, getting vitamin D, so that can help you to be able to discern when they're talking to you, when they're giving you messages, because they are trying to show you the way to happiness, the way to getting what you want out of life, but also the way to fulfilling your life's purpose. Because yes, we want to be happy. Yes, we want to get what we want, but we also have a life purpose. We all came here to do something and carry out something. So they want to show you how to do that, and they are going to be sending somebody to you that's going to help you with that. But you have to be open to receiving the message and having the discernment to know who it is. And it's possible that it could be a male that they are sending, a male meaning a man, because we have the prince, father, brother. So that's pretty much what I have for you at this time. Please let me know if it resonated. This is actually one of those readings that might not resonate right away. It might take a while, just because of the type of reading it is. But please feel free to leave a comment. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. I do appreciate those who have recently subscribed to me, and those that take the time to like the video and leave comments and engage. That definitely helps a lot. It helps me to know what content I need to keep creating, and since I am new to YouTube, it's helping me to understand who my audience is, and again, what kind of content I need to create. So thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Bye.